Hello and welcome to the Trippin on Xbox podcast. I'm your host, Gabe Carey, along with your other host, Johnny Vinyl.
Greetings.
And we have a bunch of shit to talk about today, including Halo Wars 2, which is now in early access, which is pretty dope. I have been playing that, and you've been playing that as well. But first, we want to talk about For Honor, which you have played and I haven't.
Yeah, that came out finally. It's been kind of in a beta situation for off and on for a while, but I did not play any of it in the beta. My first time playing it was the retail version. Boy, that game surprised me. It is a lot more. Here's the big secret of For Honor that I did not realize going in. It's really, at its core, a fighting game. And I did not expect that, as far as it being very technical with its combos, and like there's attack interrupts and attack canceling and things like that I really did not expect at all. And in a way, that's pretty, to a guy like me who doesn't play a lot of fighting games and doesn't do things like that, it's kind of intimidating, but at the same time, I am having fun. It's a very impressive game. Everything I've played about it makes me say, wow, this is going to be huge. There are people that are going to get super into this. This is going to be a big, big deal. I just don't know if I personally can fall down that rabbit hole. But you know, I was very impressed and happy with how different. There's 12 different characters you can play with, how different they all are and feel, and some of them are easy to pick up and get into, and some of them are complex as hell. But for guys like me, there are pretty much every mode in it can be played against AI, co-op against AI. Or against humans, but I'm really, really, really bad against humans, so the AI is more my speed. And the campaign is co-op, which shocked me. I did not know that beforehand. That I thought that was a single player thing. The campaign is.
So there's no option for single player for the campaign?
Oh, there's an option. Yeah.
Okay.
No. And I've been playing it single player because I don't have anybody to play with right now. But I always see that option to play it with a buddy, and I just didn't know that was available. I thought it was single player. And I haven't messed around with that too much. It seems to be mostly just bot matches. There's a couple differences here and there. They throw in things to spice it up, but for the most part, the campaign is training for the multiplayer, which is fine because multiplayer is the bread and butter of this game. But the combat is truly one of the only things I can say that I've seen in a game in a long time. I could say that's completely unique. I've never seen anything like that. For better and worse, it's a tough nut to crack for sure, but it's different. There's a real.
From what I've seen, it reminds me a lot of Dark Souls, but I don't know combat-wise.
I don't have enough experience in Dark Souls to say for sure if that's true, because that game scares the shit out of me. But
speaking of intimidating,
yeah, exactly. It's 100%. That's why I haven't tried Neo yet, which looks really cool because I like samurai, but that game also scares me.
Yeah.
But it's very tactical. It's kind of 3 zones you could position your weapon in: up, left, and right, and that will determine whether you block your enemy's attacks if you can get in the zone that he's in when he swings an attack, but then get in the zone he's not in when you throw your attack. So there's a balancing act there, as well as, you know, your combos are kind of part of that. Sometimes they're separate. Some of the super combos are. But I think it's something similar to how we saw Batman, that when Arkham, the first one, Arkham Asylum came out, we kind of saw that combo system ripped off everywhere, or that the combat system, I should say, ripped off everywhere for a long time. I think we're going to see For Honor in a lot of different games. And so for that reason, I think everybody should put their hands on it at least once. I don't think everybody's going to love it, but they should at least experience it, because I think it's the first combat system like this, and I think we're going to see it a lot. So you might want to try it, even if it's just a rental or borrowing from a friend for a minute. I think it's something everybody needs to say, oh, okay, I know what that is, because it's going to be a reference point for conversations for a long time, I think.
From what I've read about For Honor as well, it's structured like a first-person shooter, but like a competitive first-person shooter, but it's as more of like a like close-up melee type of combat.
I was actually just about to kind of get
really
into
cool.
that. Yeah, but there is kind of in unlocks and customization and powers and stuff, there is all the bells and whistles you would expect from Call of Duty or Titanfall or whatever. There's a million customization things to unlock in this, and there are feats in this that are like kill streak kind of things where you, kill a couple guys and then you can unlock the ability to drop a catapult on your enemies or whatever. And there's a bunch of different those. Each character has their own separate ones. So it's the kind of thing, if you're the person that gets into those multiplayer games, there's going to be stuff you're going to be unlocking and reaching for in this game for a long, long time. And of course, they're going to be adding more. They do have a season pass, which allows you to unlock the characters that they're going to be releasing early, but it seems like they will eventually be free for everybody. It seems that way to me. So that's another one of those. We're seeing that in a lot of multiplayer games now. Like Titanfall has all their DLC for free, and there's a lot of them right now. But there's definitely going to be people who are going to fall down the rabbit hole on this. I don't know if I can be one of them because I'm bad at it, but I'm glad they have those options for people who are bad at it like me to play against AI or against the campaign or things like that, because it's a cool thing. And as much as like I played it the very first night for a couple hours and I was like, I don't know if I can do this, and I put it down. But then I was the next day and the next 2 days I was thinking about it. I was like, there is something there, and I kind of want to try it some more. So I'm extremely impressed by it, but I might have to be impressed by it from afar.
You definitely make me want to try it.
Yeah, everybody needs to try it, because I really do think we're going to see it influence a lot of stuff.
Very cool. That makes me really want to jump into it.
Yeah.
And what I have jumped into is Halo Wars 2, and I don't know how much of it you've played. I haven't played that much.
I played one match.
Okay.
It unlocked. We're recording this now on, it was Saturday, or I'm sorry, Friday, and it unlocked for. I mean, you got an early copy, but for the Ultimate Edition people, the normies like myself, it unlocked at 11 o'clock last night, and I had to work last night. So I got to, this morning after I got home from work, I got to play one match, and then I went to sleep, and then I woke up, and now we're recording. So that's all I got to do.
Yeah. So you haven't played any of the campaign?
No.
Okay, good. Because I don't want to really get into it. I'm
excited for it, though.
I don't want to get into the story because I just watched the first 3 missions cutscenes. I played them the other night, but I had to skip all the cutscenes because I was streaming it.
I watched a little bit of your stream. And
then tonight I went back and replayed the first 3 missions so I could watch the cutscenes. Very cool stuff, but I don't want to get too much into that. But in the as far as the actual gameplay goes, it seems like they added. You might have already known about this, but there's like these special abilities that they added to your that are applied to different like classes of the soldiers that you use.
You mean the ones that you press the Y button for?
The R, well, it's R button on.
Oh yeah, you're playing on PC. Yeah, okay.
I don't know. if that's new. There's one section at the beginning of the game where you assign one of your Marines, or not one of your Marines, one of your Spartans to like power jump over a cliff. And yeah, you use the, I would assume that's Y button on Xbox, but use that to different character types have different abilities.
Yeah,
so,
they had in Halo 1, they had a couple of those, but not too many. Like the Spartans ones, their ability in the last game, if you would press it, they would hijack enemy vehicles. And there was a couple others, like the Warthogs are not. Yeah, I'm sorry, it is the Warthogs. If you pressed it with them, they would just ram their opponents, and so there was a handful, but I don't think.
Okay. It seems like they've added a lot more options there, which is kind of cool. The whatever the flamethrower infantry are called,
Helldivers.
Yeah, those. They can throw grenades. Certain Spartans can like jump and hijack vehicles, which I saw earlier. I don't know what else there is because I haven't gotten that far, but I'm imagining there's more that they introduce over time. They kind of made like that into a big tutorial section of itself in like the third mission, which is kind of cool. And you have to use that one character type to do what the other character types can't, to help them out sometimes. So like I had to jump over this cliff so that I could move around this area and open like the drawbridge thing, so that they could get across, which was kind of cool. It was definitely it definitely wasn't something I had seen in the first game. Cool. I'm trying to spot the differences here because I don't. So far, it feels very much like Halo Wars 1.
Yeah, but since Halo, I know your first experience with it was the definitive edition, but
yeah.
But since Halo Wars 1 was so long ago now that I think that's okay. I don't think we're burnt out on that formula or anything yet. At least
I just played it recently and I'm not burnt out on it. So like I was still really excited to jump on this, and I'll probably be playing all night. So it's definitely an addictive formula, and I like the foundation that they laid with Halo Wars 1, and I'm glad there's a sequel.
Me too.
And the story is really, really cool so far. And I can't wait to see where it goes. One of my friends was telling me, he didn't spoil it for me, but he said that one of the cutscenes in this game is his favorite cutscene in all of Halo. And I was like, holy shit, that's really exciting.
That is something that the first game was known for, where there's cutscenes by Blur as that studio that only does cutscenes, and it's the guy who runs Blur. I think we mentioned this last episode. Was the director of the Deadpool movie. But yeah, that's what the first one was famous for, and it seems I'm glad that's continuing on here. Yeah,
it's pretty cool so far.
I wonder why, because Blur also did the cutscenes for Halo 5. I wonder why Halo Wars just always has felt like a step above those in the cutscene department. It's weird, but
I feel like they don't have to, I don't know, because it is two separate companies working on the gameplay and the cutscenes.
Right.
So it's not like one impacts the other at all.
No.
I have no idea.
And maybe I only played through Halo 5 once, and didn't really feel the need to come back to it, so I might not be remembering it right, but maybe it's because I think they use the in-engine stuff more than CG cutscenes in Halo 5, whereas Halo Wars is just like completely CG, so they can just go nuts.
That would make sense.
Maybe. Yeah. I might be totally dead wrong about that. One thing that I had when my one match, I played Blitz Firefight, the one time I played, because that was not in the beta. I've not got to play that. And I was really looking forward to it, and it was great, but I got no experience points for it. And then I went on the subreddit and started asking around because I thought that was weird, and everybody else said, yeah, in Firefight, I'm not getting any experience points either. I wonder if that's a bug, or I don't know why they would design it to have one mode where you get no experience.
So Firefight is just blitz mode, but you're playing by yourself, right? Or
sort of. The biggest difference is actually there's a couple differences. Number one, it seems that in Firefight you don't earn energy endlessly. You actually have to go get each piece of energy.
Yeah.
So you have to constantly be on the move. But the biggest thing is that you're not playing against, even if it would be AI, against like this one leader who's following the same rules as you are as far as playing cards and everything. In Firefight, it's just endless enemies, and they come in waves. They are structured in a wave format. It's like Horde mode in Gears of War. Or a fire. It comes from, they do Firefight in Halo. It's the same thing. So yes and no. But I really like Horde modes in shooters, so I was expecting to like it here, and I do like it here. I just don't know why I'm not being rewarded for playing it. That makes no sense to me at all. And I wonder.
It's really bizarre.
I can't imagine they did that on purpose. I have to think that's a bug. I hope so. And I also got to play as Forge, who was not in the beta. But is in this. So it was my first time playing as him. Nothing really too cool to say about him, but I'm glad he's there. His hero units, him and a Warthog, which is neat. All the other hero units are kind of slow, and he's fast because he's in a Warthog.
Nice.
Yeah. Wait, are you writing a review on it? Where's it gonna be?
No, I'm doing.
Never mind.
Well, I'm writing 3 articles on it. I've been commissioned for 3 articles.
Where can we find
them? Reviews. They're like guides, and I'm writing them for Digital Trends, which you can find at digitaltrends.com. That's where they'll be. And the first one I'm writing is a tips guide, and that'll be up on Tuesday. And that, first of all, I already know what my first tip is going to be. For anyone on PC, the fucking pause button is F10.
What? Do you know Total Biscuit, the YouTube channel?
Yeah.
He put up a video today about not just the pause option, but he is really frustrated with the lack of options.
There's a whole subreddit for right now. There's a whole thread about the key bindings being so weird on the PC.
I have to imagine that the PC version was an afterthought to them, and that's why this happened. But that's still pretty, not really acceptable.
No. I don't really care that the pause button is F10. It was just confusing, and I wish there was some indicator on the main menu or something that told me beforehand. But I'm glad I know now. I just think that's something people should know if they're playing on PC.
Yeah.
I imagine on Xbox it is just the regular menu or
what used to be the start button.
What used to be the start button and is now, I don't know what it is. It's either view or menu. There's 2 buttons now. 3-line button and 2 squares.
Yes. It's the 3-line button.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, the kind of uproar over the PC version, I think, has been loud enough that they're going to have to do some changes and updates on it because, it does not seem like PC people are nuts about it so far, and I don't blame them. I've always thought it was kind of a weird fit. I mean, I'm glad they're doing Play Anywhere. It makes sense for them for the business-wise, but Halo Wars is already a very streamlined real-time strategy to make it fit on consoles. And then when you take that streamlined real-time strategy and then go back to PC with it, it's a weird deal. I don't know how PC players are going to react to it.
I wrote an entire article about that recently.
Oh, did you?
And that's also up on Digital Trends about the transition from taking a real-time strategy game, putting it on consoles, and bringing it back to PC. Yeah. After that, is it even worth it? And I think they did the definitive edition significantly better than they did Halo Wars 2.
That's a bummer. But it does seem like it's pretty great on consoles. I think it's very admirable that they make it work on a controller.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's no crossplay between PC and Xbox, which for the competitive modes I understand, but the co-op modes, why not? I don't understand that at all.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Blitz Firefight and the campaign are both co-op modes. Why can't I play with my PC buddies on Xbox? I can do that on Gears of War.
Yeah, that makes no sense. I always thought that it would be fine to make all of it cross-play as long as the PC players use a controller. So
yeah, that could work too.
That could definitely work. I don't know why that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to play with other people and you're on different platforms, just get on the same platform, I guess.
Luckily, you only got to pay once for both of them, but still
yeah.
strange.
So, if you wanted to play with me, I could just jump on Xbox and my data would sync. But it sucks if you only have one,
right?
And your friend is on the other platform. So, the next thing is that Microsoft, you said, has moved their E3 press conference up a day.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Do you know why?
Well, I mean, nobody knows for sure, but my guess is they were tired of going on the same day as Sony. Every year, it would be Microsoft goes in the morning and has a great show, and then a couple hours later, Sony dominates the conversation. And I feel, and I know the internet disagrees completely on this, but I feel that even the last couple of years, when Microsoft has had some years where they've had better shows, but it doesn't feel like that because Sony went last.
Last year, Microsoft's show was significantly better than Sony's.
I think so too, but everybody disagrees. Everybody says that Sony's show was the best E3 conference ever, and I didn't see it. I thought for me, a big Marvel fan, I thought the Spider-Man announcement was the coolest thing.
Spider-Man was really cool.
Yeah. I got
the year before that
too.
The year before that, Sony, I think, did better than Microsoft when they showed off Final Fantasy VII Remake and some like bigger stuff. The Last Guardian was reconfirmed and stuff like that.
Shenmue. Goddamn terrible Shenmue.
Shenmue, The Last Guardian, and Final Fantasy VII all in the same show. Like, count me in. But last year, Microsoft definitely dominated. Showing off the Xbox One S, teasing Scorpio, and announcing the Xbox Play Anywhere program, which I think is fantastic.
Yes.
All of that was, great for the platform. It wasn't game focused in particular, but the games were there too.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves looked great there.
Sea of Thieves looked fantastic. And we saw Halo Wars 2.
Yeah,
and Definitive Edition was announced there.
That's where State of Decay 2 was announced too. But anyway, regardless if who's better, I think Microsoft just wanted a day to themselves where there's 24 hours. Actually, I guess more than 24 hours because Sony usually goes real late on Saturday. But there's like a day and a half where people will be talking about Xbox rather than just a few hours. I think they were sick of that, even though now there are some third parties who go on Sunday, namely Bethesda. They will still be going on the same day as them, and I don't know what Bethesda has planned this year because
it's not like Xbox is. It's not like Microsoft is going head to head with Bethesda, though.
Yeah, exactly. So I suspect that was the reason. Total speculation on my part, but that makes the most sense to me.
For sure.
Especially this year when they're going to be showing off Scorpio. It's going to be the big unveiling of Scorpio. That's what they want people talking about for as long as possible.
Yeah, Scorpio is really exciting.
And hopefully Crackdown 3. Hopefully.
God. When is that coming?
Yeah. And maybe Sea of Thieves again, if that's... I guess, that actually won't be out by May, I don't think. We don't have a real date on that, but
we don't know when Sea of Thieves is coming out.
Yeah. So that will probably be there.
I thought it would be a good beginning of the year thing, but I also think it could be a really good summer game.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's a summer game. I think it would be a great fit there. I don't think you want to
such a
launch
good
it
August
fall.
game.
Yeah, you do not want to launch it in fall, but fall should
run
be
into that Titanfall problem.
Right. Fall should be, I guess, where Crackdown is. And they got they actually said today that the Voodoo Vince remaster and Quantum Break remaster, or not Quantum Break, Phantom Dust are both in spring too. So yeah, so I guess they don't feel the need to rush Sea of Thieves if they got those two, plus Halo Wars just came out. And who knows? Who knows? Maybe when Cuphead will drop, that could be before Sea of Thieves. So
that's true. We have no idea when Cuphead is coming. Still, I wouldn't count on it.
No, I hope that's a game.
I remember when it was supposed to come out in 2015.
Yeah, I hope that's a game that they just put up one day without announcing beforehand. It's just like all of a sudden, surprise! Because I don't think there's a retail. I don't think there's a retail version, so you don't need to worry about like. We send it out to retailers early and they might leak it. I think it's all digital, so just put it up there and don't tell anybody.
Yeah. At this point, that's probably for the best. And I don't know what the Beam app is.
Beam app is Microsoft's, and I'm pretty sure they own them completely. I should have double-checked that, but I know they at least have an interest in them. It's their competitor to Twitch. It's their streaming. It's a streaming website and streaming app, and it's fairly new, but they've been pushing it hard. And now they are bringing that app to Xbox, so you can. It's actually available right now to Xbox insiders, which actually I am one. I should check it out. Though sometimes they roll those out to Xbox insiders in waves. Like I haven't got even the new dashboard yet that killed snap mode that we talked about. Some people have it and I don't yet. But anyway, now they're bringing that so you can stream directly from your Xbox, which you could always do on Twitch, but now you can do it on Beam, which I'm sure Microsoft would prefer.
Yeah. I don't see this standing much of a chance. I actually do remember them announcing this now, but I forgot what it was called.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any chance in the world it'll overtake Twitch. No. YouTube has been trying to overtake Twitch for over a year now, and I don't think they made much progress on it, even though I think YouTube Gaming is a cool site.
I think it's great.
Yeah, but I haven't really seen anybody talking about it, so I feel like that's not going well for them either, unfortunately. So I don't really know if there's room in the marketplace for them. But they're obviously giving it a big push and giving it a shot. And, hey, who knows? It could pay big dividends. But I mean, even if, like even in the console war, there's money in being number two also. Like Xbox is behind PlayStation, but that doesn't mean Xbox isn't making money. I guess, you don't have to necessarily beat Twitch to still make some money and be successful.
That's true. And Microsoft doesn't – it's not like all of their – finances rely on this one thing.
Sure.
Microsoft has money they're pulling from every direction.
Yeah, this is now getting into kind of a larger conversation, but it's always funny how we talk about the console wars and how PlayStation is dominating, but the overall corporation, Sony's in real trouble from everything they do except for PlayStation, whereas Microsoft is not.
Whereas Microsoft is making huge amounts of money from Windows still.
It's real funny. It would be like, this is outlandish and will never actually happen, but it would be real hilarious if, maybe not hilarious, but strange if Sony as an overall corporation folded, and so PlayStation goes away despite PlayStation being the number one console.
I think Sony would probably sell the PlayStation brand.
You're right.
They did that with they actually did that with their laptops, the Sony Vaio laptops. They sold that line off a couple of years ago. And I guess they can just do that. They can just sell off individual lines of products.
There's actually, I've always heard speculation for really since the Xbox One came out that there are some people within Microsoft who want to sell off the Xbox brand, but I don't think that's ever gotten too serious.
That would be really dumb.
Well, I think
that would be a really bad idea.
Yeah. Yep. So, anything else to say about Beam? Not really. It's coming.
I don't think. Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, I guess if you want to use Beam. I don't see it really taking off, but who knows? Microsoft could prove me wrong.
Yeah, I mean, attaching it to Xbox is
it might have a like cult following. So
yeah. Next up, I know you usually do the transitions. I'm going to steal one from you because I got very little to say about the actual game. But City Skylines is coming in spring to Xbox, which I thought I'd never heard announced until today. But Gabe, you were telling me that it had been.
Yeah, that was announced a long time ago, like 2 years ago, probably.
I missed it completely. I don't know how.
It was kind of a stealth announcement. But I've been following this game for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't played it. I own the game, and I've never played it.
I have games like that where I will watch a bunch of YouTube videos on and pay attention to all the news, and it's like, I don't actually want to play it. I'm curious about it.
I'm just really interested in this game, and I've been following it on Xbox in particular since it was announced. I think in 2015, and I've been expecting this game for like 2 years to come to Xbox, and it just hasn't yet. I don't know how it's going to work when it does. I was telling you earlier that I was excited for the Xbox version because I didn't have a PC, and by the time the Xbox version comes around, I have a PC already. So there's not really much for me to be excited about anymore, but for anyone who has been holding out for this game like I was on Xbox, it's coming in the spring.
I think it's gonna be weird on a controller.
It's gonna be super weird.
I mean, I guess we were just talking earlier about how they made Halo Wars a genre that doesn't normally work on a controller, so maybe they can do it with this too.
But here's the difference. Halo Wars was designed for the controller. This is a game that was designed, that came to PC two or so years ago, and is making the transition to Xbox to a controller.
That's true. So you're absolutely right about that.
Weird.
That will be. I think there's one DLC from the PC that comes for free with this version.
There was a night shift kind of thing. I forget what it's called. I have that one too. There's one that takes place at night or something. It's focused on nightlife or something like that.
Can you beat Batman?
No, I wish.
Damn it.
I just saw the Lego Batman movie last night.
Oh, I want to see it.
It's so good.
Yeah. Speaking of, I mean, we shouldn't get into it, but the Logan reviews came out, and my God, they're high.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah, IGN gave it a 9.7.
Oh my God, I'm so excited for that movie. Wait, when does that come out?
Same day as the Switch, which is very tough for me.
Fuck, I'm not even gonna. I pre-ordered the Switch, and I'm not going to be here for it, which sucks.
Yeah. I might bring my Switch to the theater and play while I'm waiting for the movie to start.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be at. That's the week I'm going to be at GDC, which I have. I was telling you earlier. I have a meeting with Microsoft doing a hands-on demo of something. I don't know what I'm going to see exactly.
Blinks the Cat 3.
But there's apparently Xbox and PC stuff that's being shown off because I'm talking to a Windows 10 rep, and I'm having someone go with me who's talking to an Xbox rep.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting.
I wouldn't normally think of GDC because there's no press conference. I wouldn't think of it as a show where stuff like gets unveiled. So,
well, actually, I was there in 2014, I believe it was.
Yeah.
I was there for the Project Morpheus unveiling, which was announced at GDC.
Oh.
So there are a few things that are announced. It's usually hardware, though. I doubt we'll see any games announced there.
Yeah, because
they might do a new demo or something.
Yeah, because really at its core, and I know it's kind of swayed away from this, but the show is designed for developers to trade secrets with each other. Not secrets, but trade.
It's pretty much a huge game developer mixer.
Yeah.
For people who are in college, who are studying game development, or people who are a lot of amateur game developers, a lot of really cool indie games there. But it's definitely not a press show.
Yeah, the point of
so much cooler.
The point of the show is to make developers better, I think.
Yeah, it definitely is. And there's some really cool panels there that show how different games are made. I'm going to a Deus Ex panel that shows how
like a post-mortem on the game.
Yeah, like a post-mortem that shows different aspects of Mankind Divided. So it's a really cool event that isn't like hugely like marketing focused, which I like.
Do you think they'll just be real depressed at that panel because Deus Ex seems to be dead now?
Yeah,
in favor of
I don't know.
Galaxy. That's the rumor anyway.
That game. Wait, what's the rumor exactly?
All right, the Square Enix. They signed that deal. I mean, this part's not a rumor, but Square Enix signed that deal with Marvel. And Crystal Dynamics, the Tomb Raider guys, are making an Avengers game. That part's all confirmed. The rumor is that the studio that did Deus Ex, was it Eidos Montreal?
Yeah, it was. It was.
The rumor is they're doing a Guardians of the Galaxy game, and that's why Deus Ex is going to be killed, basically, at least for a long time.
Damn, that sucks, but it's also awesome. That's a bittersweet moment for me.
I have not played much of Deus Ex yet. I haven't, and I played a couple hours, and I would like to eventually get back to it because it seemed cool. But I'm a huge Guardians of the Galaxy guy, so
that sounds awesome. Can't deny that. And there's an open beta for Ghost Recon. It's Wildlands, right?
Yes, Wildlands. Come in on the 23rd, which is 6 days from now. 23rd to the 27th, so 4 days long. That seems like a weekday, is it? Or no, I guess that would be. Okay, it starts on Thursday. Yeah, so it is through next weekend. Yeah, and a closed beta just ended for this game. And I was not in it, but the reactions I heard were not super positive, which is a bummer because I was really looking forward to it.
That game looks like it could be really cool.
Yeah, like my game of the year 2 years ago was Metal Gear 5. Even though I don't like Metal Gear as an overall series, I thought the gameplay was so strong in that. And everything I saw about Ghost Recon made me think of a 4-player version of that game. And so I was really looking forward to it, even though I guess we are getting our 4-player Metal Gear game coming, but that's I think it looks cool. I know nobody else agrees with me, but whatever. Yeah, so I'm very disappointed about the reactions to that. And it's coming soon. Like I think it's early March, I think. Let me double check. You talk for a minute.
Yeah, that game, Ghost Recon Wildlands. I was reading about it recently, and Ubisoft was comparing it to a version of Ghost Recon that kind of adopts the open world scenarios that they've established with the Assassin's Creed franchise and Far Cry and Watch Dogs. So they're going open world with it, but they want to invoke kind of a tone that's both serious but doesn't take itself too seriously. And Ubisoft itself was comparing it to the Just Cause series, which made me really excited for it because those games are a lot of fun. Yeah. And you get to do a whole bunch of dumb shit. And I want to do that in Ghost Recon. But it's disappointing that you're hearing not so great things. I do want to try the beta for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I'm definitely going to try it myself. I found that the date of the final release is March 7th. So this beta ends only 8 days before the final game comes out. So this is one of those, it's a demo. You know, there's one of those things where they call it a beta, but it's not a beta. The game's coming out 8 days later. You're not going to make any changes. It's a demo. Just like For Honor was right before it came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to try it out for myself, but I'm significantly less excited after hearing the reactions for that closed beta. And it's such a busy season that I kind of wonder if that game's going to get swallowed up. You know, it's only a couple days after Zelda. That's nuts.
Yeah, which isn't long after Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah.
And then Mass Effect is like 2 weeks later, which, my God, did you see the Mass Effect video today?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you have to watch it. Are you a Mass Effect fan?
I played some of the first one. That's
man, it's my favorite series of all time.
I tried to get into it recently. I tried to play the first game, and it was really hard for me to get through. But I think Andromeda looks really good.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I should jump into it without having played the first.
Yes, you should. Well, first of all, I have a controversial statement to make. It's that despite Mass Effect being my all-time favorite series, I have to admit Mass Effect 1 sucks, especially now.
A lot of people have been saying that to me, and that I should just jump into 2.
Yeah,
but I'm afraid of doing that because I don't want to miss out on some of the plot points.
Well, there's a cheap, and might even be free, but I think it's just cheap. There's a cheap DLC you can buy that will, before Mass Effect 2, it'll be a motion comic to catch you up on the story of Mass Effect 1, and you can even make 4 of the big key choices from Mass Effect 1. So that's cool. Probably the way to go, because it's all about that terrible, terrible combat in Max for 1, where everybody feels like they're just pointing finger guns at each other and going pew, pew, pew. It's awful.
I didn't mind the combat too much as I minded how slow everything progressed.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's just how the game is, or if that's just how the franchise is.
No, just the first one.
Okay, just the first one.
Yeah.
There's way too many dialogue choices, and you're not put into combat enough at the beginning.
I agree. I do think there's still a lot of dialogue in 2 and 3. I'm not going to pretend there's no dialogue, but there's a lot. But I do think.
But is it at least more interesting?
Yes, okay. 100%. Anyway, but and also to your second question there, yes, it's Mass Effect Andromeda takes place decades later. Actually, I think almost a couple hundred years, because they traveled a whole nother galaxy. There's no characters from the original series or anything like that. So yeah, this is, if you do want to completely skip the first 3 and jump into Andromeda, this is the place to do it. You're fine.
Sweet.
But also 2 and 3 are so goddamn good.
I'll get around to them.
Yeah, you don't need to play them for the story, but you should, just because they're great games. But anyway, Ghost Recon. That's happening.
Yeah, that's happening soon. That's next week, right?
Yeah, 23rd. It's Thursday. A week from when we're recording. A week from today. No,
a week from yesterday.
Yeah. I don't know what day it is, but I'm on overnight shift. My whole fucking.
Today is Friday.
What?
Yeah.
And then, but I don't want to bitch about my work too much, but when I go to work tonight at midnight, you would think it's Saturday, but according to our clocks, the day doesn't change over until 8 in the morning. So on all my paperwork, I got to write down that it's still Friday.
What?
It's really dumb. But anyway, that's besides the point. That's why I get confused.
That would be confusing, because that is totally inaccurate. When you get to work, it is not Friday. It is Saturday.
That place makes no sense. Anyway,
let's get on to your pick for our version of Super Smash Brothers for Xbox.
I'm gonna be ever so timely on this one and pick Atriox from Halo Wars. It is our second pick from the Halo universe, obviously, but there's nothing that says we can't double dip on it, especially on the Xbox's biggest franchise. Absolutely. There's going to be some more franchises I'm going to double dip on, so I can certainly do it on Halo. And
the first character from Halo, of course.
Yeah.
Sneakers.
Yes. Everybody's favorite Halo character. I think the Brutes are iconic enough that you would want them represented in this game, and so your options are pretty much Atriox or that boss at the end of Halo Wars, or of Halo 2, whose name I forget. Bring him in the game, and he can use the Brute Hammer. He can use that Brute Shot Grenade Launcher. He can use all those Brute weapons, even the Chopper motorcycle if you somehow have vehicles. I don't really know how that would work, but I think you would want the Brutes represented in the game. He's the guy to do it. He's obviously somebody, as we mentioned last time we did, they've kind of put all the marketing on Halo Wars 2 behind this villain. So obviously they had big plans for him. I hope to see him cross over into the mainline Halo games, and I kind of think that'll happen. You probably know more than me about that since you've played the campaign and I haven't. At least part of it.
I don't know enough about it.
Okay. So they obviously got big plans for the guy. you want some big tank characters in your game, and since it's going to be mostly heroes, and heroes don't tend to be those big hulking type characters, so you kind of got to go outside the box a little bit for them. So Atriox is my pick. What do you say?
I approve.
Okay. That was pretty easy. I wonder if we're ever going to have any where we say no. If you pitch a car, I'm saying no.
Yeah, I think that's the one. Once we get down to like things, I think we'll start denying each other things. Because we'll be so desperate for characters.
Yes. I'm adding him to the list. So we got Master Chief, Marcus Phoenix, Johanna Dark, Apollo from Sneakers, and now Atriox. That's our game so far.
It's a pretty good game so far. It has very few mechanics, but it has a lot of characters.
That's all you need. I just need a bullet point that I can put on the back of the box, and I'm good.
Yes.
1,000 characters.
To choose from. So many characters.
Yes. And nothing.
The largest game roster of all time. Zero game.
With the least amount of abilities.
I want just every character to have the same abilities.
Yes.
But like we put a lot of effort into their designs and animations and stuff, but they all do the same thing.
So is Apollo from Sneakers going to be firing Halo guns?
Yes. Okay. They just all fire Halo guns. Even the car from Forza.
Yeah. I like it.
Which is happening because that eventually I'm gonna run out of ideas and pitch that one. Anyway, that's our show. I hope you enjoyed this bullshit.
Yeah. What's your Twitter? No, what's your Twitch? You got a Twitch now.
I have a Twitch, which is Games Play Gabe. Twitch.tv/Games Play Gabe. Same thing on Twitter. Games Play Gabe. Because I don't play the games, they play me because I'm super bad. And you go ahead and plug yours too.
I'm on Twitter at BlackheartJV, but I'd much rather you follow our YouTube channel, which is Co-oping Toward Hatred. We got these series of videos on there, which, by the way, please like this and share this with your friends. Our first episode actually did surprisingly well for a first episode where nobody knows who we are, and the second one dipped a little bit. And so it really helps us out if you like it and share it with your friends. I also got videos on there of me teaching my mom how to play games, as well as this kind of a Let's Play series I do with my buddy Bear, and some other stuff. I got a video about whiny game, or a series about whiny gamers too. So there's lots of stuff on there. Please check it out. Subscribe.
And if you don't share this with your friends, we will sue you.
Yes.
So
if you don't share with your friends, we're adding the car from Forza to the list.
Yes, that is your threat. Please don't share this. I need the car in the game. And that's it. That's the show. Thanks for listening and watching.
Hey jerks, this is Johnny Vinyl, and if you like the video you just watched, you can click right here to see our next one. And you can click on this part of our professional green screen, and you'll subscribe, and you'll never miss one of our videos.
Shit, my arm's getting tired. God damn it. Shit.
Dude.
My arm...